Hope you're all well, had a nice weekend, and you're ready to do some performing arts again. So you might notice if you're a follower of these videos that I'm stood up this time and I'm not sat down, and there's a reason for that. So we've done some writing so far in performing arts online, we've done some talking, improvisation. This week is going to be about movement and mime as well. So if you want to take part, you're going to need a little bit more space than maybe you did for the last few weeks. Some comfortable clothing, and for later on, if possible, a mirror. So access to a mirror. So maybe if you've got a tall mirror or a mirror that's hung up somewhere in your house, pause the video now, grab that and bring it to somewhere in your space so that you can see what you're doing a little bit later on. So grab anything that you need, get yourself sorted, then we'll get going. Okay, so not loads of room in my house, possibly the same for you, so just going to be careful of the things around us and always only do whatever you are comfortable doing. We're just going to do a very gentle warm-up. The movement today is going to be fairly low level energy wise, so we're not going to do a crazy energetic warm-up. We're just going to stretch our bodies out a little bit. It feels quite nice to do that anyway when we're sat down quite a lot at the moment, and just get ourselves in that sort of mind frame. So I'm going to put some music on. This is the best setup I could sort out in my house. So I know you can't see every single part of my body, so I'm just going to talk you through what I'm doing. It's all really simple, you're going to be able to follow it easily. Okay, so I'm going to put a bit of a track on in the background for us to do some little stretches too. Okay, start off at the top, just with our heads. Turn that down slightly. And we're just going to do a little stretch to one side, trying to get that ear to touch the shoulder, back to the centre, another stretch. Don't push anything, if it hurts just stop and lessen the stretch, okay? Middle again, another one. Keep breathing nice and deep, back to the centre, back onto your other shoulder. Lovely, okay, now do a few little shoulder raises. Nice, feels good actually. Okay, let's take our wrist and do that a little spin round. Give it the other direction. Lovely. I'm going to take it from the elbow and do sort of a bit of a circle, like we're drawing a really big circle with our hand. And then we're going to go from the shoulder, do a nice big circle. Couple of those. Okay, take our other hand, do a twist at the wrist. Other way around. Lovely, now we're going to take it from the elbow and do a big circle as though we were drawing a circle with our fingers. Really big as you can. And then at the shoulder again. Oh, take a stretch. Lovely, give our arms a little shake all that out. Lovely, give your hips a little shake, a little wiggle in the body. And we're going to do a similar thing that we have done with our arms, but with our feet. So we're going to get our ankle, I know you can't see it, but you're going to spin your ankle round in one direction. And then change direction. Ooh. Good balancing. Now from the knee, same as we did with the elbow, as if your foot is drawing a really big circle. Just from the knee if you can. Okay, and then finally we're going to go from the thigh. Just a couple of those. I feel a click or two. Okay, change legs. The other leg, same thing with the ankle. Small circles. Another song. Ready? What's coming on? That's all right. That'll work. So we're just doing ankle circles with our ankle. Change direction. We're going to take it from the knee. Do a big circle as though our foot is drawing that big circle. Whew. And then finally from our thigh again, a circle with your thigh. If you can, just do whatever you can. Okay, we can give our legs a little shake. A wobble, get rid of that. Then we're just going to go up to our tiptoes, down again. Tiptoes, flat. Few those, bobbing up and down, stretching our calves. Lovely. Okay, give your legs a shake. Give your arms a shake, give your whole body a shake. Excellent. Fantastic. Okay, well done for that. Take a breather. Maybe you want to grab some water. You may need it from time to time, like I do. Feel free to grab that at any time. You can always pause. Also, don't forget that throughout the session and also afterwards, you can make comments underneath. Tell me about which bits you liked, which bits maybe you found hard, what you might like to do in the future lessons. That'd be amazing to hear from you. Okay, so in our performing arts sessions when we're all together, we sometimes play a game where we each add a move onto our sequence and we have to remember it. It's a bit of a memory game, but also gets us a bit physical as well. What I've done today is I've come up with 10 moves and we're going to learn one at a time. So we'll learn one and then we'll add another one onto it, so we'll do 2. Then we'll add another one on and do 3. As though we were doing it in a circle, but it's just all my moves, if that's okay. Very simple again, we're just going to learn a 10 move sequence. The sort of moves I've chosen are what we would normally do in class. I've written them down to help me. Okay. First move then is a wave. Okay? So that's the first part of the sequence. If you can have a go at that, brilliant. Okay, second move is a jump. So now the sequence looks like this. Okay, let's do that all together. Excellent. Okay, I've added another move on. Oh yeah, it's this one. Okay, have a go at that move. Sort of let the water flow through your arms. Okay, so we'll add that onto our sequence. Okay, gone for a classic move next. It's the Saturday Night Fever. So we're going to add that on now. So from the beginning. Okay, brilliant. Next one. Okay, this is a really good one. We're all superheroes in our own ways, and we're going to show it now with a superhero lunge. Okay, we hold that lunge, nice stretch. Okay, we'll add it onto our sequence. Sequence now goes. And superhero lunge. Okay, next one. Okay, yes. We hands on our hips. We twist the body, trying to keep your hips as straight and forward as you can. It's just the top part of your body that's twisting. It's a good twist. Okay, so full sequence from the top. Okay, excellent, doing really well. We're nearly at the end now. So you've almost learned the whole 10 moves. Next one to add on, it's going to be hands in the air, give your hips a wiggle, give your arms a wiggle. Yes. Okay, so from the beginning. Now I'm going to go a little bit slower, give you the opportunity to remember it before I show it, okay? So first move please. Very good. Okay. Last couple now. Okay. Next one, we're going to do a classic spin. You can have your arms out, arms on your hips, doing a boogie, whatever you want as long as you do a spin. Okay. So we'll add that to the sequence. And a spin. Okay. Right then. Oh yeah, just checking I haven't missed anything out there because I sensed that I might have done. Okay, next move then is a double stop. Okay, so it's stop, stop. So we've done our spin, stop, stop. So from the top. Excellent. The final move then is going to be to take a bow. So thank you very much. Take a bow. Brilliant. So that's the 10 moves. That's right. We're going to put some music on. We'll just have a go at doing the whole sequence all together. Good luck. Fantastic. Well done. I almost forgot the double stop. Brilliant. Well done, everybody. Obviously now, if you wanted to, you could press pause. You can add your own moves to it. Okay, you could double that sequence. Or you could just put some music on and do that sequence a couple of times just to get your heart rate up a little bit and get your body moving. If you feel like you've done enough, carry on with me. Okay, I'm just going to grab a chair. Okay, so let's have a look. Ah, yes. Right, so I might not need my chair actually. The next bit, I said about having a mirror. A mirror could be a really good, useful tool for this activity. Don't worry if you've not got one, but it would just be a useful aid for you when you're watching your own mime. So everything we're going to do today, you won't need any props, any papers or anything like that. It's all going to be in our imagination, so we're going to make everything up. So we play a game sometimes together called where we give each other a parcel, an imaginary present. One person will say for you, the person receiving will say for me, the person giving will say for you. 3 simple lines. We're going to do that together. So I'll be the person always giving the parcel. So I'll say for you, there'll be a gap for you to say receive it through the internet for me, and then I will say for you. Then, if you want to press pause, you're going to open that parcel like we would do, and whatever's inside it, you'll mime using it. You might want to tweak it a little bit. Maybe there'll be something that's not quite right, or maybe there's something you put over your head or whatever. Use. Now remember, with this game, you don't always have to like your present. Okay? It could be a not very nice present. It could be upsetting. It could be scary. It could be amazing. It could be a shock. It could be a complete surprise. Or it could be something lovely and interesting. I'm going to do just a couple of presents. Each time, give the video a pause, unwrap it, really explore that item. And what we're looking for today, and which is why the mirror could be helpful, is to be quite precise with our mime. So I could have easily got those binoculars out and then gone, and then suddenly they're this big, then suddenly they're this big, and then I could have got the rope and just done it like put that over my head, could have done this and then forgotten about them and then got them again. But just being really careful to make sure you have got a real idea of how big, how heavy, how that's going to affect your body, what that's going to feel like having that item on your face, okay? So we're trying to be really thorough and careful with our mime. So there they are, I'm going to leave them there. So the first one, and take note of how big these presents are that I'm going to give to you as well. That might affect what's in them. Okay, so first of all, for you, you say, for me. For you. So press pause, unwrap the present, just have a little play around with whatever it might be. Amazing. Okay, second present. It's your lucky day. You've got a few presents to open here. For you. For you. Okay, press pause, unwrap your second present. Right, present number 3 coming on up. It's quite a heavy one. We're about to get some. Not sure I can pick this one up. To there. I'm going to slide this over to you, okay? For you. Yeah. For you. Press pause. Excellent, and last but not least, here's your final present of the day. Here we go. For you. For you. Fab. Thank you so much. Hopefully you pressed pause and you had lots of different things. Feel free to put in your comments whatever you found in your gifts. That would be really amazing to find out. What was that heavy thing? What was that small thing? What was that really sort of traditional thing, I suppose, at the end? I seem quite happy about giving you that normal sort of sized present. What was that? That was maybe like a pole at the beginning. Let me know. Okay, next activity we're going to do today is the locations game. We sometimes play this in class where one person would leave the room. We would all then decide where we're going to pretend we are, and then we're going to mime what we might be doing in that location. The person comes in, they guess what location we're in from what we're doing. Slight variation of that game for today. So I'm going to give the location, and then I'm going to ask you to pause your video and just in your space, wherever you are, move around, trying to resist. For example, I've got a table here, so potentially if I said you're in an office, it might be really tempting for me to go, oh well, I'll use this table. We're going to try and use everything as mime today, so possibly you might be in an office and you'll be like, yeah, of course I'll put you through. Oh, just give me one moment. Hi, thank you. Yeah, I'll put you through there. Lovely. Oh, I might make a cup of tea. And you're going to do that. Okay, so everything's going to be make-believe, imaginary. So the first place that I'm going to ask you to be in, Oh, and yes, I'm just gonna, a couple more things to think about. If you put anything down, for example, I put that phone down. If I've gone off to make a cup of tea and the phone rings again, I've got to know exactly where it is in the room, okay? So trying to be quite specific, that's what today's about. Trying to be quite detailed. No, don't rush it. Really think, that's where the phone is, that's where this is. You know your environment, and it's all in your imagination. Okay. And just thinking about as well how that might affect your body, like we did there with the heavy present. Something's heavy, something's light, you're having a cup of tea, you don't want to spill it, whatever. Okay, so first location. I would like you to imagine you are in an airport, okay? So are you a business person with a briefcase looking for the arrivals? Are you somebody working in there? Are you pushing a big thing full of suitcases and bags? Are you taking passports and tickets, scanning them? Make sure that scanner is in the same place every single time. Hello, thank you. Yep, that's scanning. Yeah, happy flight. Whatever. Okay, so press pause, and you're going to spend maybe like a minute or something, well, as long as you like, really, just building up this world and thinking about your mime and how you can make it more precise and cleaner, if you like, so that you know where things are. Keeping things simple is a really good tip. Don't overthink, have too many things, because otherwise you forget where they are. So say you're taking the tickets, think about where your queue is, think about where your scanner is and where you're sending people, okay? Off you go. Excellent, okay. So you've been to the airport, now you're going to go to the gym, okay? Think about what your role is there. Do you work there? Are you visiting? If you are visiting, are you working out? Are you doing a class? Are you thinking about joining? Is it busy in there? Okay, press pause, and you're going to mime in that space that you've got at home, whatever space you've got, being careful of the things around you. You're going to mime being at the gym. Go. Fantastic, brilliant. The next one is possibly the only place maybe we are actually visiting at the moment, and it's the park, but we're going to imagine it's not like it is now, where everybody's going to stay away from each other and we're only going there for our daily exercise. So you could be having a barbecue, you could be meeting some friends, you could be playing, you could have taken a niece or a nephew to the swings, you could be walking your dog, whatever. Okay, so you're in the park, and we're going to just imagine that. Again, thinking specific things about our mime. If we have got a dog lead, it's not suddenly in this arm, it's not suddenly, forgotten about or left or whatever. We're just going to try and be really detailed. Off you go, in the park. Brilliant. I've got a couple more of these for you. Hopefully this is just allowing you to explore your own personal sort of mime and your own movements and how you like to work in this sort of imaginary world. Okay, the next one is the supermarket. Once again, I'm going to say, let's imagine it's a normal time, whatever normal actually is, but not the regulations that are in place today. If you prefer to do it with the regulations, you want to be thinking about all of that, that's fine, but I think it's quite good to escape a little bit with these sessions and forget a little bit about what's going on outside and just use our imaginations to remember what it was like before. So at the supermarket, again, really precise with your hands as well, about if this is a tin, it doesn't suddenly become flat. You're all really concentrating on making sure that is a tin and it is in your trolley and it's still a tin. And then remember to take that out when you go to the checkout. Okay, off you go. Lovely. Okay, then last one, we're going to the beach. Don't we all wish we could go to the beach? I certainly do. So you're going to do that now in your imagination. Decide what you're going to do on the beach, how it feels. Imagine what it might be like walking in the sand. Sometimes it might be pebbly, it might be hot, you might be in the waves. How does that affect the way that you move and you walk? And think about what activity you might be doing there. Right, off you go. Fantastic. Excellent. So we've used our imaginations there to go to a few different places, and hopefully you've really just warmed up your mime fingers, if you like, and body, and you're getting into that idea of things not being there, but you have to really imagine that they are there. What we're really aiming for is if somebody was watching you, that they didn't question that you weren't actually holding a tin of beans, for example, that it was completely believable. That's what we're aiming for. Right, next activity then, you're going to act out your morning. Okay, now at the moment, I don't know about you, but my morning's quite different to how it used to be. I don't have to be out the house, not actually allowed out of the house. So I'd like us to cast our minds back and imagine we are on our way to the pyramid. So maybe it's a Monday and you come into performing arts class. It's that morning leading up to that, okay? So a normal sort of morning that we're used to. So you are leaving the house, you are getting things done, ready to leave. And I want it to be from the moment you wake up until the moment you leave the house. Obviously, if you spend some time reading, you can just bypass that. But all of those things you might do, have your breakfast, getting ready, brushing your teeth, put your clothes on, maybe other people are in the house. Just try and be quite detailed about this. And again, just thinking about that miming quality, what the things that we can create, things that we might do. It's not always about making something big. It can be also about those subtle things, like looking in the mirror. Mirror's maybe slightly off. It's a bit wonky. Okay, so it's just thinking of those small details. So your morning, as if you were coming to the pyramid for Creative Remedies. Off you go. On to the next activity then. I'm going to say some simple day-to-day things, and you're going to mime doing them. Now, I think a bit earlier I said about simplicity, it can be quite key. So I'm going to take some really simple tasks and you're going to mime doing them as detailed as you can, with as much memory as you can in terms of where you've put your knife, for example, if you're buttering a slice of bread. So you pick it up from the same place. Or, if you spill some of your tea, where is it spilt? Where does your cloth live? How do you clean that up? Does the cup need a clean as well? So you might need to clean underneath the cup and the side. Okay, as detailed and as precise as you can. Okay, again, if you've got a mirror, this is a really good time to try and use it, and just keep having a little look and watching and thinking, does that look real? Is that believable? If you don't have a mirror, don't worry. I've done this whole session today whilst I've been practicing, planning, and I haven't actually used a mirror, even though I do have access to one. So it doesn't matter, but it would just help to make things even cleaner, I think. Okay, so first things, just really visualise your work surface as well. First thing you're going to do is make a cup of tea. So in your mind, decide what your work surface looks like, where your kettle is, where your tap is, where your cupboards are, where your milk is, spoons, everything, okay? As detailed and as precise. This might take you a little while to really set it up and really get it going. So pause the video, spend some time making a cup of tea. Brilliant, well done. If any of these you want to comment about, as always, but also if you want to upload any videos if you're doing these routines, that would be fantastic as well. Second one, wash your face. So think about where your towel is, where your soap is, your taps. Have you got a mirror? Do you need to, is there anything else that won't quite come off, or what's the story with this washing of the face? Are you washing your face because you're about to go to bed? Are you tired? Are you washing your face because you got all ready to go out and dressed up and ready to go somewhere and it's been cancelled? Okay, off you go. Brilliant. And the last one, you're going to iron a piece of clothing. Now, I don't do an awful lot of ironing myself. So this one I really have to think about. You have to fill up your iron with some water, you need to wait for it to get to temperature, test the temperature. How's that feel? Maybe you have to feel the board. not quite ready. Get your piece of your item of clothing ready. Really imagine what it is. Is it a shirt, a dress, t-shirt, some pyjamas, whatever. Off you go. Fantastic. Okay, now the final activity is you're going to choose one of those activities or another one that you can think of yourself, and you're going to work on a short routine. Okay, it's going to be a really simple activity, but there's going to be a bit of a story in it. Okay, there might be some mistakes. So if you are ironing a piece of clothing, for example, perhaps you burn something. Maybe it's not yours, perhaps it's your daughter's best dress, or your friend's jumper that you borrowed and you make a burn mark on it, okay? Something happens. It doesn't have to be mistakes, it could be the perfection of this item being ironed, a brand new shirt that was expensive and it's for a special occasion, whatever. As I say, you don't have to do a cup of tea, washing your face, a piece of clothing. You could be making a sandwich, for example, okay? Try and add in some truthful and believable things. So, for example, if you are washing your face, maybe when you do your water, you get it all over yourself. I do that all the time. You splash yourself, or maybe you spill the milk when you're making the tea. Add in some of those things, okay? Rehearse your routine. So do it through once, make some decisions about who you are, why you're doing that thing. Is it routine? Are you a bit stressed doing it? Are you annoyed? Are you upset? Are you excited? What are the truthful, believable, maybe slight mistakes you're going to put in there? And then rehearse it, being really careful, really accurate, watching yourself back if you can, just checking, is there any way I can improve this routine? And yeah, I think rehearse it and then tell us about it. Or show us it. You are more than welcome to get somebody, if you've got somebody you're living with, to film your routine. It should be really short, probably about a minute, and upload it onto the comments. That would be amazing. Or even if you just write a comment and say, I was making a cup of tea for my nan who'd come round, and she's very particular about the way she likes her tea, and things kept going wrong, like I put too much sugar in and not enough milk, and the tea bag split or whatever, okay? So be as precise as you can and enjoy making your scene. You're going to try and really rehearse it and get it as good as you can do, okay? So off you go, make your mime routine. Fantastic. I hope you've enjoyed the session today. It was quite different to the other things that we've done. Hopefully you've had the space in your environment at home to be able to do those activities. Please do leave me comments. I love reading the comments. And the last activity, I thought, seeing as you've been so meticulous and careful with all the things that you've been doing in this session today, that I thought the last thing that we could do, finish with something really fun. Put one of your favourite songs on and have a dance, okay? So I'm going to just demonstrate this for you. I'm sure you know how to do it, but after doing something quite disciplined, it's quite good to just let loose at the end. So I'm going to find a song. This is a good one. Have a good week. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time. Goodbye.